finding some positive in everything you do and everywhere you find it. And I have to tell you a story about something which has happened, which is so beautiful, so lovely and so inspiring that I know that you're going to want to hear all about it. It's the story of the biscuit. Now, I know it's a bit long-winded, but stick with it because it's absolutely worth it. So my mum doesn't need Weight Watchers biscuits, but she likes them. So she went to her local, well, she didn't, she asked other people to go to local grocery stores, couldn't find this particular brand of biscuits anywhere. Anyway, so somehow she found a telephone number for the place that sells Weight Watcher biscuits. She phoned up and spoke to a lovely chap called Alex. Okay. Alex said, no, we don't have any of those. He said, but I'm going to see if I can find some for you and I'll pop them round to you. And she said, oh, you don't need to worry about that. She said, I'm sure we can find them. He said, no. I will absolutely do that. I will look after this for you, Mrs. Hill. Don't you worry. Fantastic. Lo and behold, lots of biscuits turned up in Mum's porch. I thought that was absolutely lovely. What a kind thing to do, because it turns out that the head of Weight Watchers is just up the road, about a mile from Mum and Dad's house. I didn't know it was up there on a road that is actually on a residential street. I thought that's a bit peculiar when she was telling me the story, but I thought, hey, whatever. There's got to be a head office somewhere. What a lovely thing. I thought that's just kindness personified, isn't it? So this morning I decided I was going to phone these lovely people. So I'd asked Mum for the number and I phoned these lovely people to say thank you for your kindness to my mum. I thought it was just above and beyond. So I phoned up and I said, hello, can I speak to Alex, please? And the chap on the phone, Paul, he said, no, he said, but can I help? And I said, well, I'm trying to find out what obviously you're part of Weight Watchers and I'd like to know how we can get a regular delivery of the biscuits. And he went, thanks very much for the thought. He said, but we're nothing to do with Weight Watchers. He said, we're called Revolver Records and we're a publishing house for records. We look after artists. And I said, oh, that's curious. I said, how on earth would my mum get to know about you and how has that all happened? He said, I don't know. He said, but all I can think is that she got a wrong number. And my mum got a wrong number, phoned up a chap and spoke to this lovely chap called Alex. Now, it turns out that Alex's last name is Meddings. Hello, Alex Meddings, if you're listening. You lovely, lovely chap. Because my mum is my mum and has the brain the size of a planet, she remembered a lady that used to live next door to her called Brenda Meddings. So she said to Alex Meddings, do you know Brenda? And he said, yes, it's my nan. So they got chatting, and obviously this is why Alex decided to do a lovely thing by going to get the biscuits and deliver them to my mum. Got it so far? Very nice bloke. Alex, lovely. So when I phone up this morning and I speak to Paul, who's nothing to do with Weight Watchers, but he knows Alex because he works there at the record company called Revolver Records in Wolverhampton. I said, well, how has this all happened? He said, Alex is just a nice bloke. He said, and because there was a connection between his nan and your mum, he went out of his way to go to 2 different stores to find lots of packets of biscuits so that your mum had the biscuits that she chose. I think that is beyond priceless. I think it just says so much, not only about kindness of humanity, but of the lovely serendipitousness. I'm on a radio show. I get to say thank you to Alex and Paul at Revolver Records in Wolverhampton by playing a song from one of their newest artists, who happens to be a super smashing artist. Her name is Christina Gamelot. She's Danish, I think, and she has the voice of an angel. And so I'm going to play you a record. But before I do, have a little think about how that all happened. Mum wanted biscuits, got a wrong number, nice chap. Yes, I'm a Meddings. You used to know my nan. I'll deliver you some biscuits. We're a record company. It has nothing to do with anything. That is my kind of story. Have a listen to this.
the dreams that we have lost. We'll find them in our hearts, we'll find them in our souls. We'll find each other once again, the we you never lost, no. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to figure out. The demons that have followed me have come to share their thoughts. They think I'm turning into this annoying little girl, the one you used to know, the one you used to know. Now as I read through, I remember the way it felt when you held me, and you comforted me again and gave rest to my restless head. You know I never tell you so, but how I love the way you see the light in everyone. I know they try their best. I lost my faith so long ago, and solitude became my ever loyal friend, my ever loyal friend. Now as I read through, I remember the way it felt when you held me, and you comforted me again and gave rest to my restless head. Now who am I to tell you I have faced my biggest fears? You lost your parents long ago, and still it seems so near. I wish that I could take your pain the day she passed away, the day she passed away, the day she passed away. Now as I read you, I remember the way it feels to be near you. You're the warmth of the sun, and I'm getting colder, and I love you more than you ever know. Take me to the place where we would go when we were born. Let's begin again, let's find the dreams that we have lost. We find them in our hearts, we find them in our souls. We find each other once again if we are ever lost.
Isn't that nice? Christina Gammeltoft. Gammeltoft. I thought she was lovely. And you can find her at Revolver Records, which is where Alex works. And I just think they're super smashing, lovely, lovely people over there for doing that lovely thing just because somebody knew, it didn't even know my mum. I think there's beauty and kindness everywhere, isn't there? And I'd love to hear all your stories. You know, we're going to be with you on